Have you ever been stressed out because you didn't plan your YouTube videos in advance? Perhaps you wanted to go on vacation. Sometimes you get sick, or sometimes even life gets in the way. But when that happens and you don't have any YouTube videos scheduled in advance or planned in advance, then it can be quite stressful. And as a result, your channel may not grow as fast. So on this live stream, or if you're watching the replay, I'm going to be talking about 10 ways to plan your YouTube videos and then schedule them in advance so that you can grow your channel faster. There's many times where I haven't planned any videos and I've just been kind of sitting at a blank computer screen trying to force creativity and nothing's happening. So I don't know if you've ever been in that position, but it's not a very nice place to be. So I thought on this live stream, I kind of go through some of the ways that I plan my YouTube videos, and hopefully you get make it easier for you to plan your videos in advance. We're going to look at these 10 steps to plan your videos in advance, but I have one question here that you can answer in the chat, and that is how many videos do you typically plan in advance? Do you just plan, just do one video at a time, or do you plan two in advance, or do you how many videos do you plan ahead, or maybe how many weeks do you plan ahead, or days or weeks do you plan ahead? So let me know in the chat, or if you're watching a replay, put that in the comments. But first, we want to discuss what is the first step for planning. And this is the question you want to ask. What's the purpose of your video? So the purpose could be you just want to get more views and subscribers. You want to build your channel. So everybody wants that. But another purpose could be that you want to generate revenue. So the purpose of your video could be you could be doing a video review, and then leading people to an affiliate link, and you get 50% commission, 30% commission. So selling products. Another purpose might be that you want to generate leads, build up your email list so that you can recommend your own products and services or other people's products and services. So you're using YouTube as a platform to build an email list and to build your revenue. So therefore, it's very important to decide what is the purpose of your video. Maybe you just want to create a whole library of videos or a series of videos that just keeps people watching, and so you want to trigger the YouTube algorithm or trigger the suggested algorithm, because the suggested videos algorithm means that people are binge watching your videos, one after another. So maybe you want to trigger that as a way to get more traffic, leads, and sales. So it's good to determine first, what is the purpose of your video, and then you can go on from there. So after you determine the purpose of your video, then you want to go and create a list of video topics. So generally what I do is I just jot them down in a Google Doc, because Google Doc I can take anywhere. I can, I'm on my iMac now, but I can go on my laptop, and even I can go on my phone. And talking about my iPhone, like sometimes when I'm out exercising, then an idea will come to mind, or maybe I'll take in a shower or just getting up out of bed. Then I'll just go to my, I'll jot down ideas in the Notes app on my phone, and then I also have Google Docs on my phone, so I can just add it to my Google Docs if I wanted to. So it's good, it's good when it's good to have something handy to jot down ideas as they come to mind. Because sometimes, and I find this, probably find this also, but when you're kind of bored, maybe watching television, or maybe you're exercising, or driving the car, or taking a shower, like you're not kind of forcing creativity, but you're kind of more relaxed. You could be listening to music, and then the ideas kind of come to mind. So, and often at those times, those are actually the best ideas. So um, that's why you got to quickly put them down using your phone, or jot them down on a piece of paper. So when it comes to creating a list of video topics, generally I try to come up with maybe, when I come up of the coming up to the next month. So like for the month of June and the month of May, I'll already be thinking a month of June, 1 month ahead, what kind of topics I'll create videos about. So and then put them in a Google Doc, put them on your phone, write them down, etc. But then the question is, how do you come up with a list of video topics? Well, some ideas to come up with video topics, as I just mentioned, they come up anytime during the day. But if you want to look for specific topics, just do some keyword research. So generally what I do is I'll go into YouTube, use the YouTube suggestion bar, and I'll put in, type in some topic in there, say how to plan YouTube content, and then I'll look at all these suggestions. I'll also use something like answerthepublic.com, which is a great free website to go to that has questions that you can ask about your niche. So you put in your topic there, and then it comes up with a bunch of questions. You can also visit the comments of your videos, or visit the comments of other channels in your niche, and then often people ask questions. You could also go on forums, Facebook groups, but usually I find kind of a gold mine in the comments as people are asking questions. So this kind of taps into the mind of your target audience. So if you don't know your target audience, you might create videos that you think your target audience wants to watch or are interested in, but it's better to tap into the mind of your audience, taking surveys, polls, doing keyword research, and visiting your comments. Another thing you want to think about is creating a video series. So when you're creating a list of potential topics, you can think of a particular theme. So say for instance, this live stream is all about how to plan your content, and I'm kind of breaking it down. But another whole topic, and each of these points that I'm going through could be a whole video in itself, like how to create a video script. That's a whole part of creating video content, or just how to come up with watchable video topics, for instance. So when it comes to your topics, generally I come up with a list of like 10 or 20 topics. I may not use them all, but think of a particular theme. And if you think of a theme, then it's easier to come up with successive or related videos. So say for instance, your theme might be how to train dogs, but then you go into all the different breeds of dogs, go into the different situations of how you can train dogs, etc. So that would be your main topic, your main theme. And then if you're thinking a video series, you're thinking all these subtopics. So as soon as you have your topics in your Google sheet, then you can kind of come up with kind of subtopics. So think of a video series, not just a solo video. So if you're just doing one video, then and then one topic, and you do one video, then you're kind of stuck for the next topic, next video. But if you're thinking of a series of videos, then it's much easier to maybe cover a whole series of videos throughout the whole month. And also that helps with getting into suggested videos, because if people binge watch or take a deeper dive into your content, then they're more inclined to subscribe, more inclined to come back to your channel, watch more, because they're hungry for more of that same content. So definitely create a list of video topics. And so I already touched upon that, but one way to do this, I mentioned about Google Docs, but here's another app that I've used before called Trello. And with Trello, I call this video content calendar, which I'll touch a little bit on later. But here, Trello uses cards. So the first cards I've got to do. So this will be my list of video ideas. Then the doing card will be the one, the videos that I'm writing scripts for or currently have to film. And then when I've published the video, I just move it over to the done column, and that means that video is done. So I'm moving it from one column to the next column to the next column. So it's a great little free website that you can use. Mostly I use Google Docs for video ideas, but this is a great application or website where you can kind of visually see how your content is doing. So you got your creative ideas, you got what you're doing, and then when they are done. So that's one idea. So I talked about a video series, and why do I talk about a video series or a theme? Because with a video series, you can put them in a playlist. And as you see here, I've got a playlist called How to Get Discovered on YouTube. So I've got like probably 6 or 7 videos in this video series. And so when I link to one of these videos on my playlist, then immediately people see all the other videos in the playlist and they say, oh yeah, I'd like to know how to rank my videos in suggested videos, or maybe I'd like to know how to get discovered in YouTube search. So by linking to a video in the playlist, they can jump around and binge watch multiple videos and take a deeper dive into your content. And as a result of that, they will want to come back. You'll satisfy the YouTube algorithm. You'll get more of your videos into suggested videos, which are the ones that appear on the right side of the watch page and under the video in the YouTube app. And so with suggested video traffic, it's actually a great way to grow your channel. So if you do a video series, I'd say like 5 or 6 videos in a video series is good. And you can also use something like YouTube auto suggest. Usually what I do to come up with ideas, as I mentioned before, I'll use the YouTube auto suggest. I'll use keywords everywhere, which shows you the search volume, the cost per click. And then I also use something called TubeBuddy, which is a free Chrome extension. But if you upgrade to the Star or Legend version, then you get more features, and you'll be able to quickly, you'll be able to save a ton of time doing your keyword research, finding new video ideas, and you can also do your keyword research. So once you've got your video topics, then you want to do that keyword research. And TubeBuddy is a great way to look at the search engine competition, look at the search volume, You can look at related videos. You can look at your competing videos. What competing videos are there on YouTube. So it's a great tool that you can use to kind of flush out your ideas and come up with more topics or subtopics that people are searching for in the YouTube search engine. And as a result of that, then your videos can get ranked in YouTube search and in YouTube suggested. So when it comes to keyword research, you want to find those keyword phrases that have a high search volume and low competition. So you can do that with TubeBuddy. And if you don't have TubeBuddy, you can just go to the description below this video, and you can use Herman's Buddy at checkout to get 20% off. So that'll save you something, for your cost of the app. But I find that it does save time. I also use Morning Fame, which is another research tool to come up with YouTube video ideas. But when it comes to planning ahead, then if you've come up with a list of video topics and then you've done the keyword research, which is the foundation for successful videos, then you're kind of way ahead of the game and you'll be less stressed, and it'll also free up your mind to be more creative because you're less stressed. And then you can just batch script, batch record, batch edit your videos, and you'll be ahead of the game. So after you've researched a bunch of ideas, then you want to move on to the next thing, and that is to write out your script. So I touched upon this before, but basically I did a whole video on this, but you can check it in the description. But the purpose of writing a video script is that it's going to help you stay on track. 2, it's going to stop you rambling. And 3, it's going to help you to stay organized. So if you have a script, and usually I just use a series of bullet points, and then I'll look at the bullet points, and then I'll kind of just talk about it like in a natural way, just kind of like I'm doing today. I'll look at I have some bullet points written down, and then I'll just tap into the knowledge based upon my experience. So writing a video script, some people will write out the whole video content, but I kind of recommend just writing bullet points down, and then you can appear more natural in your video, and as long as you stay on track. So you can, when you're filming your video, which I'll talk a little bit about later, is you kind of, you could just memorize a bullet point and then speak and then go back to the bullet point. So, and in your editing process, you can kind of eliminate the dead space or the the places where you've kind of paused. So when it comes to writing a video script, then, and probably you probably have the same introduction at the beginning of your video, but you're gonna have a hook at the beginning of your video, so something that can grab the attention of your viewer. So this could be like asking a question, or you could go straight into your video and say, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the steps you need to plan your video content. So you go straight into that. Some people start off with a bumper and introduction to themselves, but I think that's not a good idea. It's best to go, kind of ask a question, or maybe show what you're going to be talking about. And then, so you're showing that at the beginning of your video, and then maybe a quick introduction in a few seconds, and then go straight into the media content. And then you're going to end up with a call to action, which would be that you're recommending the next video in your series. So like I mentioned before, you want to think about a theme and a series so that when you're writing your video script, at the end of your script, your call to action would be, hey, check out my, if you want to learn more about planning your content or, optimizing your content, and check out my next video. So then you have some kind of clear format that people can easily follow and they can remain engaged throughout your video. So that's the video script. And next, you want to create a content calendar. So when are you going to publish these videos? So generally what I do, I have a whiteboard, say, this video is going to go out this time, but I think the easiest is to use a Google spreadsheet. So you could have your list of video content ideas in one column. Then your next column could be the ones that you're working on. And then you could have the date that your videos are to be scheduled. Or the easiest way, if you're on a Mac like me, I can just schedule them to be on my Google Calendar. So you can just you can use the calendar on your Mac. You can use a Google Doc. So even the Google Calendar, you can use that on your phone, on your laptop, and on your computer. So you can just access it at any time. But you have to think ahead. How often do you want to upload how often do you want to upload and publish your videos? So generally I've been publishing videos, 3 videos a week now for several years, sometimes 2, but mostly it's just 2 regular videos and then a live stream once a week. So basically 3 videos per week, but the main thing is that you want to schedule your videos or prepare or plan your videos ahead of time, at least a week ahead of time. But generally what I do is I plan maybe 2 or 3 videos in advance, and then the third video might, the idea is there, and then I'll start working on them. When I write a script, I'll maybe write 2 or 3 scripts in a day or in a morning, and then when it comes to shooting the videos, I'll shoot typically 1 video, but I try to do 2 or 3 videos. So whatever works for you. But we'll talk a bit about that later, about filming, because there's some people can do it, do 1 video. Some people do multiple videos. It just comes with practice. But the main thing is have a calendar or a schedule. If you schedule your new video to go out every Monday or Monday and Thursday, then try to keep to that schedule. And then if you plan ahead of time, then you can stay on track and you won't be kind of left for dead, kind of wondering, scratching your head, what should be your next video. So that really starts off with those list of content ideas and topics. So that's about creating a content calendar. I recommend maybe a Google Excel spreadsheet, and then scheduling each video when they should be published. So after that, you want to film your video. So what I've found is that kind of depending on the length of your video, say it's like a 10 or 15 minute video, then it takes a lot of energy for 1 video. But probably most of you are younger than me, so you can probably shoot multiple videos and still have a lot of energy. But I find that I can shoot maybe 2 or 3 videos in a day, depending if I know the material. So if you know your material very well, or if you've researched it really well, then you can kind of film, 1, 2, or 3 videos. And the key with that is that, while you're in the groove, you got the light set up, you've got your script ready, you've done your camera settings, you got your mic ready, you got your whole setup ready to shoot your videos. So then instead of shutting it all down to shoot your next video, it's much easier to keep the setup keep the setup as it is, and then shoot multiple videos. And I tell you, if you shoot 2 or 3 videos in advance, it might be kind of stressful, and it might take a lot of energy. But once it's done, you feel really good because you've got, now you just have to move on to the editing process, which I'll talk about later. So if at all possible, I'd say at least try to film 2 videos in advance, while you're on a roll, while you have the camera, the lights, the mic, backdrop, everything set up. And then also you can think about taking a photo for your thumbnail. So generally what I do is, as I'm in the filming process, it doesn't take much to kind of flip the camera over to photography mode and shoot a quick picture or shoot a couple of photos. Or if you have a whole base of photos, then you can just select one of those. So that's all about filming your video. And then, once you've filmed several videos, then you can move on to editing your video. And generally what I do is, once I've filmed, several videos, then because the editing process takes such a long time, it takes several hours. So say for instance, usually what I do is I'll film the video, say on, usually I do filming on Tuesdays, and for like the next week, and then I'll edit the video throughout the week. So I'll do like a couple of hours the same day, and a couple of hours the next day, and a couple of hours the next day. Or generally when I'm have some spare, usually in the evening, or kind of not do it at the most creative time of the day, but I can even listen to some music or do something else as I'm editing. So and that way you can spread out the editing process. But generally what I do is try to edit the videos probably up to 1 day before they are to be released. So it's kind of hard to batch edit your videos, but when you plan your videos in advance, then you have that time for you to edit them. Then after editing your videos, you can upload, optimize, and schedule your videos. So usually you're doing this 1 video at a time. So you're uploading the video, then you're optimizing the title, description, and tags. And then I'll also try to create 2 or 3 thumbnails in advance. So generally I try, when it comes to making thumbnails, I'll even sometimes do this before I create the video. Sometimes I'll do it during the editing process, but I try not to do it at the very end, because then it's the last thing that you do, and you might be hurrying to do it. So and when you're creating a thumbnail, you can do it in front of the TV. You can do it sitting outside. You have more flexibility. You don't, I can just take my laptop, or if you have an iPad, you can create it there. But you don't necessarily have to be at your computer in your office, but you got some flexibility there. So when it comes to optimization, then you got to optimize the tags. So generally, I use a TubeBuddy Chrome extension for that. So you come up with a whole bunch of tags, and then you use those same keyword phrases in your title and in your description. And then you can schedule your video to be published. So generally, I try to schedule my video maybe 2 or 3 days, 1 or 2 or 3 days in advance. And this, I put it as unlisted, so I know that if YouTube sees that it needs, it's going to demonetize it, or some problems with the video, then that can be picked up. And then I'll schedule it to be published at a certain time. So usually I'd schedule a video to be published like at 6 o'clock in the morning. So catch people just getting up on the East Coast of the USA. People that are in Europe, they're already up and about because they're like 3 hours ahead of us. And then also 3 hours later, people are getting up on the West Coast of the USA. So I find that is a pretty good time to publish it. Then I have a lot of people from India that also are some of the first ones to see the videos. So scheduling your video is great because you don't really necessarily have to actually be there when the video is scheduled to be published. So, and then, particularly if you're, and I've done this before, if I go on vacation or if I go to a video conference, I want to have maybe 3 or 4 videos that are already scheduled. So I don't have to optimize them. I don't have to make the thumbnail for them. They're ready to go. All I have to do is answer, reply to the comments. So it's a great feeling to have 3 or 4 videos in the can that are scheduled to be released, and I don't even have to be at the computer. So I could be out riding my bike, I could be on vacation, I could be at a video conference. So in that way, planning ahead decreases stress, frees up time, and grows your channel, according to a set schedule. Your work doesn't stop there. You want to, even though it's scheduled and you publish it, you also want to promote your videos. So I thought I'd just mention that here because it's still part of the growth of your channel process. So submitting it to social media sites, embedding it on your blog or website, sending an email, scheduling an email alert out to your email list. So all of these things you can also schedule. So what I often do is I've scheduled a video, I've scheduled a notification to my email list. I can schedule the release of my video to my Facebook group. I can schedule an announcement on my community tab on YouTube. So all these things you can kind of do hands off by scheduling them, and this kind of reduces the time to plan it. You want to spend time planning your next videos. So in this way, if you schedule everything ahead of time, then you can free up time. And I think I don't really do this, but I do upload videos to Instagram, like little snippets to Instagram, and I don't typically schedule that, but I think you can use something like Later, or maybe some of you might have. I think there's some other apps out there that you can use to schedule Instagram posts. But you can schedule on your Facebook page, Facebook group, website is another place you can schedule your video as well. Okay, and after that, you want to also track your video performance. So you want to have some degree of flexibility. So say, for instance, a video that in your series it has taken off. Then by tracking the video performance, you can see that that particular topic or that particular subtopic got a lot of traction and took off. So then instead of just, going to the next video in the series or going into a next topic, you can double down on that particular topic. So that's the beauty of a video series. One of your videos in the series might take off, and because you've already planned a video series, you've got the next video in the can ready to go. And so say a video took off, and then 24, 48 hours, you have another video that can be released, and then another video and another video. So you can kind of capitalize on the snowball effect and get a whole bunch of videos that can gain traffic and momentum and get appear in search and suggested. So that's the beauty of tracking your performance. So you want to track the click-through rate. So if you get a high click-through rate, that's really good. If you get a high audience retention, then that's really good. But the nirvana or the ultimate is to have a high click-through rate, high average view duration, and a high average percentage viewed, number of people that are watching the video all the way through. So if you have all these three metrics being very high, then there's a good chance that your video will do really well. And of course, you want to always try to improve on your next video. So if you're doing a video series, try to improve on the next video. And sometimes you're not going to get it right. Sometimes you think a video might do well in a series, but then it might bomb. But then, instead of getting depressed or worrying about it, just move on to your next video, because when you get in the creative process, then you kind of leave the previous video behind and you're moving forward, and you never know when that video is going to take off. So just something to keep in mind is sometimes very easy to get kind of down on yourself because a video didn't get many views. But I've had, I've been on YouTube for, 14 years, and I've seen that you can create a video one day that gets a little bit of, a few views, but even 2, 3, 4, and 5 years down the road, or even, weeks, months, even years down the road, that video could be one of your top videos on your channel that's generating content. So I have old videos on my channel that I thought would never take off, but as a result of them appearing in Google search and YouTube search and suggested, they bubbled to the top after a long period of time. So don't think that's why you don't want to delete your videos. You want to, just move on to the next video. And the probability is that, and not all of them do this, but probability is that a few of your videos are going to take off over a longer period of time. So just that's something to keep in mind instead of looking for that immediate satisfaction. So what are some of the best practices when it comes to planning and scheduling your content in advance, you want to plan. So plan all your topics, ideas, organize your topics in a Google spreadsheet, Google Docs, or Trello, and then schedule your content in advance by using the scheduling feature in YouTube, scheduling feature in your email list provider like Aweber. You can schedule it to go be notify your email list. You can schedule the post on your website if you're using WordPress. You can schedule your Facebook post. You can schedule your Facebook post in your Facebook group. Schedule your social media sites. And then most important is you want to make content your audience wants to watch. So that's why the planning stage is the foundation for a successful video. So if you're going to make content your audience wants to watch, it depends on your list of video ideas, but then also the keyword research is really important. And then you want to provide solutions to your viewers' problems by looking through your comments, looking at the comments of other people's channels, maybe survey your audience, conducting polls, surveys, etc. And then most of all, you want to be flexible. Sometimes a hot trend comes up and you want to jump on that hot trend. So you want to be flexible. Answer burning questions. Maybe several times in your comments, people are asking the same questions. That's a sign that you should answer that question in a video. And then when you're tracking your video performance, you find that a video is taking off. So you want to double down on that high performing video and make the next video as fast as possible so you can capitalize on the traffic of that. Then most of all, you want to be consistent. So planning and scheduling your content ahead of time helps you to be consistent with your YouTube channel, and also it helps you to avoid burnout, which you don't want to happen. Because if you get, and usually burnout happens when you're trying to do too much at once, you haven't planned ahead, you can't think of new ideas, so therefore you kind of force your creativity, and that's not a good thing. When you're filming your videos, you might be uptight, you might not be relaxed, and people can sense it in your videos. So then your delivery doesn't go as smoothly as well. So if you want to know more about how to get your videos discovered in the search engines, YouTube search, suggested videos, Google search, etc., then watch that next video on how to get discovered. Watch that playlist. I'll put that on the end screen, or you can check the link in the description below this video. So check that out.